If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Ancient cultures, they were no different than you and I. What did they like? They liked beautiful views. What did they need? They needed a reliable water source. And that's what they got at the ruins that I'm at today. We are at the St. Clair ruins in the Tonto National Forest of Arizona, up near Horseshoe Reservoir. Now, Horseshoe Reservoir obviously wasn't around when the inhabitants of St. Clair, the St. Clair ruins lived here, but Horseshoe Reservoir is formed, say hi, is formed by the Verde River, the Verde River, if you will. And that was most definitely here and flowing even better than it is today, back when these ruins were inhabited. And I'm gonna be a little stationary today because there are a ton of rock walls here at the St. Clair ruins, and proper rune etiquette is that you don't step on the rock walls. So when I move, I'm gonna have to put the camera down and just be very cautious. So let's take a walk and see what else we can find at the St. Clair ruins. And we have rock walls on the level that I'm at, that you can see here. Say hi. Hi. There's my wife standing in front of some rock walls. And then we get that great view looking down on Horseshoe Reservoir, which again wasn't here when the inhabitants lived here. And that would have been from the time period of about 1100 AD to about 1300 AD. That was, however, the Verde River. That was your lifeblood, your water source. And it would have ran down behind those mountains that the sun is peeking out over. That would be where Bartlett Lake is currently, also formed by the Verde River. But looking below me, you can see the hillsides are, in a way, they're almost terraced with a level of ruins directly below, and then further down there's more ruins, and then further down upon that there's yet another level. So unique, possibly indicative of a unique social structure here. There were 90 rooms here in total at the St. Clair ruins. They're also called the Brazaletes Pueblo, from the Spanish for bracelets. And the reason they get that name is because bracelets were found here made out of seashells. And obviously, if you know geography, there is no oceanfront property in Arizona. There's a nice wall right here. So that is indicative of trade with cultures down south along the Sea of Cortez, or west out towards modern-day San Diego. Let's go down a level and see what else we can find. Now, dropping down one more level, you can see the next level of ruins pretty clearly here. And again, this is a difficult rune site to navigate and maintain proper rune etiquette. Proper rune etiquette dictates that you don't step on the rock walls, but there's so many of them here because of the 90 rooms that I can't kind of film and walk at the same time the way that I usually do, because I have to be a little more cautious of where I'm stepping. Take one step that way. Here's some more ruins over here. I see a lot of pot shards gathered on the rocks down below. We'll go down one more level and take a look at those. And here are some pot shards laid out on the rock on the next level below. Now, depending on your feelings about pot shards, you can pick them up, but if you do, please put them back in the same spot that you found them. Some people a little more hardline, they don't like you picking them up or touching them at all. I usually, when I'm at a rune site, I look for a rock that is like this, where someone in modern times has already placed a bunch of pot shards on a rock, and these will be the ones that I pick up. I won't pick up the ones that I find kind of embedded in the dirt a little bit. So you know, there's always a rock like this. Every rune site in Arizona has a rock like this where someone has laid out some pot shards. So that's the one I look for, and those are the pot shards that I'll pick up and photograph and examine. And we got another room right here. We'll turn And yeah, just rock walls upon rock walls everywhere here. The St. Clair ruins, aka the Brazaletes Pueblo. If you're ever out in the Tonto National Forest near Horseshoe Dam, Horseshoe Reservoir, it's not a hard hike, and it's a well-known ruin site, so I'm not, you know, giving away any deep dark secrets about some, you know, hidden site that no one's ever been to before. This was excavated, it was studied in the 1960s. That's when they found the bracelets and came up with the name Brazaletes Pueblo. And again, that is just indicative of a trade route with other cultures, that you can find seashells here. And we look at these ancient cultures, and we oftentimes in our mind just tend to look down on them. We say that they had no written language, therefore they must have been primitive, but they had some major advancements that we could only dream of. And you know, those trade routes, okay, so it's not ordering something on Amazon and having it shipped via overnight delivery, but for 700, 800, 900 years ago, they were incredibly impressive. So now we've come down to the lowest level of ruins that we have at the St. Clair ruins, and lots more structures down here. What I'm noticing are much bigger structures here, including the one that I'm standing in, which I wonder if that was maybe a central plaza or a ball court of some sort. And we'll look up the mountain. My wife is up there trying to navigate her way down without stepping on the rock walls. And again, it's usually pretty easy for me. I've gotten in the habit when visiting these ruins of just bouncing over rock walls so I don't have to step on them or touch them or anything. But man, this place just has such an abundance of ruins that anywhere you go, you risk stepping on something. So tread lightly when you come here. There's a nice shot, nice wall, big circular room, circular structure. There's another one over here. And then let's take a look at these pot shards that we got here, because these are really big. Look at the size of these guys. Oh man, that is big. That's a big pot shard. And this one got a nice red coloration on it. That is beautiful. And again, some people will tell you don't touch anything when you come here. I'm always of the philosophy that you're going to touch the pot shards, look for the ones that have already been moved. If you find anything else, any tools or artifacts, if you pick it up, please put it back exactly as you found it. And as always, respect the ruins and don't take anything with you. These are our precious cultural resources, and once they're gone for good. Oh boy, I gotta get up this rock wall here somehow without stepping on it. All right, let me turn the camera off and work my way up to my wife. But I think that's it. I think we've seen just about all there is to see here. The St. Clair ruins, aka the Brazaletes Pueblo, Tonto National Forest, near Horseshoe Reservoir. We are 2 coffees to go. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and join us on our next adventure.